Yeah, but I've never thought about myself as a brand. I'm a person, I'm an actor, and like, what it is, it's there, and people, I think, like me because I'm as real as it gets. And I don't have like 5 agencies and 4 PR people and 3 managers running after me telling me that I should do this interview or, I should put this post or I should do this or, like let's sit down and have a chalk, a plan. I can't. Just recently, there was that I'm pregnant again. I think that I was like, oh God, I was actually laughing. I was like, oh my God, it is actually the wine and pasta that's making people say that. But by the way, anyway, that picture was morphed, huh?
Really, no?
Yeah, even though I clarified it. Yeah. Because honestly, my stomach isn't that big. I think all of them are amazing. Whether Saif just worked with Prabhas and he said he had such a wonderful time working with him. I mean, they all, like, whether it's Dhanush, I mean, they're so amazing and like, what an actor.
Hello everyone, I'm Rudrani and welcome to Speak Easy. My guest today is very special. She made varied choices and she continues to do so. Sassy and very talented. I'm talking about Kareena Kapoor Khan. Hello.
Hi.
It's been a while, but it's so lovely to be here and chatting with you.
Thank you.
But I meant every word of it. You've always taken risks very early in your career, and you continue to do that, right? And it, in a way, it did. It sort of paved the way for a lot of actors. How important was that when you were doing it? When you started in the career, in the beginning of it.
No, I mean, I think it's been because I've always been passionate about acting. I've always loved acting, always wanted to be in front of the camera. So trying to always do something different was something that I've consciously maybe done. And I was actually blessed with good choices in the beginning of my career, like, whether it was Refugee or whether it was Omkara, whether it was Chameli. And I'm happy I did those films at that time. And now I'm in, the idea is also that you have to keep evolving, keep changing, keep growing. Otherwise, it's not possible to have a 22-year, career.
Absolutely. And also a lot of female actors tell me that they used to be given a lot of advices. What were the advices that you didn't take and look where you are today?
No, so I'm the kind of person that I listen from one ear and take it out from the other. I don't take any advice on my career, on my parenting, on the way I live my life. I think everybody has to be responsible for their own decisions, good, bad or ugly. That's just the way life is, and that's the way it should be. And so then I don't, if I take any wrong decisions, then I don't have anyone to blame.
Yeah, you did it yourself, so
yeah.
Take full. But there were none that you remember that you thought was silly at that time and you still didn't listen.
There are lots of things in my life, generally, I've not listened to people.
But like you said, you have to keep evolving. And here it is, it's because Laal Singh Chaddha is, of course, the remake of Forrest Gump, and there's a lot to look up to. But when you, when you did it and when you were looking at the scripting stage, did you ever think we have to really get the sur right, because there'll be a lot of expectations because there's already, it's a fan favorite, right?
Yeah, but there are people who've seen Forrest Gump and the masses have not seen Forrest Gump. It's a class film. It's a film that, you and me talk about it, they've seen it. So for them to write about it and say that, oh, Forrest was like this and Forrest Gump was like that, whatever, but the masses also have to see it. And they were not going to see it for Forrest Gump. They'll see it for Laal Singh Chaddha and for what it is. And of course, this is an original adaptation of Forrest Gump, and Amir has waited 14 years for the script to be written, to get the rights of this film. So it's something that he's seen his passion through it, and we've kept it in the essence of based for the Indian audience. But of course, Forrest and Jenny's characters are the same. It's scene to scene, it's the same. But it's obviously been performed by us in the way we have done it. But of course, the arcs of the characters are all the same. Rupa's as flawed and grey as Jenny was. And in fact, her journey is something that I think is the most beautiful part of Laal Singh Chaddha.
I also feel like along with your choices on screen, I feel like even off screen, you've maintained the way you are and you've really owned yourself. People always say be yourself, but you truly have. You handle trolling like a boss. What goes through your mind when you see all of that happening around you?
No, obviously I think, but I'm reacting like a sensible person because, since you have to retarded comments, sometimes you have to react sensibly.
But tell me, now are you used to the thing? Do you not get bothered by what happens around you with the trolling and anything?
I don't get bothered at all. Because, beyond a point, it's not important. I mean, the problem is that we have given the ticket. It's an open platform. Everybody has a voice today, and everybody wants to say something. And post-pandemic, everyone is frustrated. Everyone wants to talk. Everyone has a write a review, give a take, say something, do something. So, theek hai na, it's okay. As long as everybody is removing their frustration on something.
Now that he's grown up, Taimur's there. Do you sometimes show the films that you want to now?
No.
And have you seen the trailer? Not there yet, right?
No, he's not there. He's only 5.5. And he's not interested, I think, in that. Even he knows that we work in movies, but
You
right
never
now he's
ever
not in
showed
that.
something.
No, he's missed a generation and he's already watching Harry Potter and Pirates of the Caribbean.
Look at that. I love that. Harry Potter is a good way to start.
Yeah,
really.
I
That's
think
the good.
so. Yeah.
It is. It's lovely. And I also think it's lovely because you put this little photo where he saw his first match. I think that's such a emotional moment, right?
Yeah, I mean, Saif was going, so obviously he went with his father and it was nice. But I mean, he's still really small yet to understand, like in terms of like sports, he's just started playing football. He's just 5.5, going to be 6. I think once they're like 7, 8, they kind of figure out what kind of sport they're interested in. So the idea is to expose him to everything and then kind of let him take his decision, what he wants to play or not.
You mentioned grey. For you, is grey so much more interesting? I'm sure it is for all actors. And because you are somebody who has done a little bit of grey. And
I mean, I think that what's important is that it should be something that I've not played before. Like Rupa is a character that you've not seen me do. Because she also has an arc from when she was 18, the kind of girl she is, she's ambitious, she has dreams and aspirations. Then finally how her life pans out along with Lal's life, and then finally how it ends up is the beauty of this film. And it's something that I just loved because, I want people to see that whole, gamut and graph, and it's very emotionally heart-wrenching. That I know that there won't be a single person who watches the film and won't shed a tear because that's the kind of film it is.
No, that's lovely. It's been a while, no? I think we need that back.
Yeah, just something that has a good story.
Yeah.
And something that has an emotional connect to it, rather than, of course, a formula film is there, everything is there. You have the song and dance and everything. But I think when it comes to this kind of film, because it's an original adaptation of Forrest Gump, Amir has really, really given it his all and stuck to, what the original screenplay is.
You're reuniting with Riya.
Yeah.
And then you have Devotion of course.
Suspect, which will be amazing.
It will be? Tell us a little on that.
It'll be brilliant. I'm so excited. I can't wait for it. It'll be out on Netflix, I think December, Jan.
And that's something that we'd see you completely different again.
Yeah, absolutely. Also because working with like Jaideep and Vijay and kind of like coming from a different world, I think it's like fireworks when we're like all together. It's like really, it's got that, and then never worked with Sujoy, and I think he's got like an amazing cast, amazing actors, and the kind of chemistry that all of us have shared is what I think has made it absolutely like divine.
I also want to give you a lot of credit for how you do take stand where it needs to be. When you're talking about, let's say what happened with Ramayana, the entire thing being twisted into something else where the entire topic of pay disparity gets taken away. And you have to give explanation to the people around you.
Yeah, but the reason that I never give any explanation or never did for that, because I was never offered that film. Because I wasn't, so I don't know why I was even put into that category. Yeah, because I wasn't the choice for the film.
Yeah, but then the entire furore, I think, is unnecessary, right?
Maybe I wouldn't have. Who knows?
Correct.
So, but like, made up stories. But now, I don't mean to even put anybody down, but now they need to have some stories also, because sometimes every day people are looking for some sort of a
fodder.
What to do, kya ho raha hai, and going through Instagram, kuch to hona chahiye. So then I don't know from where this came up.
I spoke to Saif about it, and he's like, as an artist, I want to do crazy things, but I am being careful about, how the people around me react, because he's gone through so much of this.
Yeah, but he also doesn't react now, because, honestly, there's beyond a point, if you don't feel like reacting, actors just, shouldn't, because today there's like 100 platforms, 100 things are being said. How many things will a person stand there and clarify? Or will we do our job, or will we stand there and just keep putting tweets and Insta posts and things like this and clarifying things? I think there's a limit to that also.
you also maintain a good balance between social media and
Yeah.
sort of cutting off, taking your holidays with the family.
I'll post what I want to post.
Yeah, but is that around you when everybody is trying to build their brand per se? You know what I mean? As actors, you hear that a lot. Does it get frustrating because you are trying to still be you and not be very curated, right?
Yeah, but I've never thought about myself as a brand. I'm a person, I'm an actor, and what it is, it's there, and people, I think, like me because I'm as real as it gets. And I don't have like 5 agencies and 4 PR people and 3 managers running after me telling me that I should do this interview or, I should put this post or I should do this or, let's sit down and have a plan. I can't because I don't have the time. I have 2 kids. I have a family, I have a life, I have friends. I don't have time to do so much. So my job is to be loyal to my fans, do great work, try and do the best I can, choose the best I can, and then, kind of just go back home and run away and give my time to my family and my kids.
In this 22 years, what has changed for Kareena Kapoor Khan? And what have you retained still?
I have retained my confidence and hopefully my talent.
Of course.
I have learned from my mistakes. I'm more like calm and in Zen mode, which could be borderline boring, but it's fine because that's just the way I am now.
But your sass is intact, yeah? Whenever it's required.
Whenever it's required. That's well put. But otherwise then, it's like, I'm so busy now with my life and with, so many other things, and that's so important that, sometimes I just other things don't affect me anymore. And it's so important to be like that because in a world that we're living in today, it's important to try and stay as unaffected as possible. So you can focus on your characters, you can focus on your work, on yourself. It's so important to do that also. It's like to give time to yourself when so much is happening outside, inside, everything. So I'm a time management pro, as Saif says, and that's the reason that I think I'm quite calm.
And also a great mother, right? I love the Spanish theme that you put up.
Yeah. I'm trying to always do the best, and like COVID, I've had to entertain Taimur, so he took up Spanish, and now he's going to still continue it. So like I said, that just striking a balance between everything, enjoying this also, but also like staying a bit away.
We're wrapping in 1 minute, so here I'm going to ask you some quick fun questions and just short answers, whatever comes to your head. All right, a rumor about yourself that makes you laugh very much.
Just recently, there was that I'm pregnant again. I think that I was like, oh God, I was actually laughing. I was like, oh my God, it is actually the wine and pasta that's making people say that. But by the way, anyway, that picture was morphed. Huh?
Really, no?
Yeah, even though I clarified it. Yeah. Because honestly, my stomach isn't that big.
Please look at her. Please see.
Yeah, so
you can see.
So it was morphed, but I still gave a clarification because I thought it was fun.
The most honest person in your life?
I think my children. Because they're so honest, because they're so untouched, they're so whatever comes to their mind, they just say it.
What's that one 4 a.m. friend that you can always call anytime in your life? Oh,
4 a.m. friend, I think I can call all my friends and my family. I think all of them, whether it's Ammu, my sister, I think all of my friends are I know I can pick up the phone and call them.
And you're going coffee with Karan. Is this a very subdued Kareena Kapoor, or do we see the sass?
Well, I've left the sass to all the youngsters this time. That's all I can say.
So you're with the wiser version, is it? We'll see.
Wiser and smarter, and now I'm like, oh God, okay, let me go home.
Fair enough. An actor from the Tamil, Telugu and Kannada industry that you really, really want to work with?
I think all of them are amazing. Whether Saif just worked with Prabhas and he said he had such a wonderful time working with him. They all, whether it's Dhanush, they're so amazing, and what an actor. Every time you see him in any role, I think his performance is of another level. So I think all of them are they're all so good, yeah.
The best quality about Amir Khan and one slightly annoying quality?
Annoying, I don't think. Annoying Amir is sometimes because obviously, he wants to be get that till he's correct.
The perfectionist, basically.
Yeah, so sometimes somebody like me who's very spontaneous, it can be a bit taxing.
Dobara karo wahi cheez.
Haan, wo wala. But he's a thespian, and I truly am humbled and honored that I've had this chance of working with Amir in such prolific films, like whether it was Three Idiots, whether it was Talash, whatever the fate of Laal Singh, I think he truly is, an icon is less. It would kind of put him down to call Amir an icon. He truly is a legend.
I'm really, really looking forward to Laal Singh Chaddha.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Stay the way you are. You're amazing, Kareena.
Thank you.
And sending you lots of love.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.